Okay. So I'm gonna complete some missions now. Okay. So this Ivan guy has to get some rations, and I need to get access to the district. Maybe I need to find Fenris. If only knew where he was residing.
Only a few years ago, the inhabitants here were much less friendly. I remember that not a single shard was safe.
It's it.
And you think that's changed?
Yes, I got the impression that the guards take their job quite seriously.
That really tasted like shit.
Not my problem.
Work makes more work.
I need to get to the upper district. I don't know. Where do I find this Fenris gas first?
You must be my new cleaner, yes?
Yes, that's right. Although I think it's a waste that...
I don't give a damn what you think. I don't need anyone to think. You understand? Quiet! There are some rules you need to know. What I expect from you is that I can always find everything in exactly the place where I left it. No cleaning up on your own, all right?
Of course.
Good. I also expect you to keep the floor and my working materials dust-free. Got it? If you have to lift any of my things to do that, I expect you to clean every single item and put it back exactly where it was before. Every sunrise, I expect to find everything exactly as I left it, only cleaner. No matter how late into the night you have to work. Get the picture?
Loud and clear.
Good. Then grab a broom and get to work.
Okay, I'll do this mission later. Oh. Okay. I need to go there. What does it say? Before I can become a commander, I have to prove myself to Azog. There appears to be some confusion about where a scout unit is. Azog gave me the coordinates to a factory site southeast of the depot. Taking a look at the site might provide some answers. Okay. I'm gonna look at that site and find out what is there. Okay. Set. Need to save the field. I don't know how I have to load some.
Okay, spread out and take anything that's not nailed down. I don't want to see a pile of fucking scrap metal, you hear? Hey, you! We're here first, so fuck off! Find your own place to scavenge.
What happened here?
What happened here? What happened here? I look psychic to you? Back of the line, buddy. And don't count on there being much left when we're done with it.
You're not touching anything else until I know what's going on here.
Man, that's amazing you can even breathe without someone giving you instructions. Okay, so we found this merry band of brothers in a decidedly post-alive state. And now we're cleaning out their pockets. That's the deal. And it's not like we're finding a whole lot. That cleric had some piece of paper in his pocket, but that's it.
What's the paper say?
Take a good look at me. I look like the type who's ever read a fucking book in my life? Come on. I'm keeping it, in case I ever run out of paper. But you want it so badly, I'll sell it to you.
Here. Now give me the piece of paper.
Nah, you hesitated just a hair too long, my man. Yeah, let's add another 0 to that figure.
You want to practice the art of the deal? Do it somewhere else.
Look, I don't know how you earn your daily bread, but a man's gotta eat, and this is my way of surviving. I ain't no dummy. I know these guys on the ground are your buddies. That's why I'm charging extra. Although, their brothers aren't the friendliest fuckers around, so, let's try this again. 100 shards, and the shitty scrap of paper's yours.
Deal.
See? Don't you feel all good and squeaky clean now? That's an underrated feeling these days. Here, take it.
I wonder what the half-life of such a factory would be under normal circumstances.
There is no normal. Not anymore.
You mean it is impossible to determine the answer to my question?
No, but if you're going to rack your brains, you should do it about more meaningful things.
That was remarkable.
Time to move out, boys. It's getting a little heated up in here.
Not now.
Okay, I'll talk with the Hagen about that. This game looks great. Literally great. At least I thought it was just remake of some sort, but it's not remake. It's pretty original on its own. Unique. The tunnel is secure, the rivers are dead.
The tunnel is secure. The Reavers are dead.
You've got guts, I'll give you that. Such an achievement deserves a proper reward. Their loot will be confiscated and put to good use. It would be wasteful to leave it to the rats, after all.
I get the feeling this was more about the loot than the Reavers for you.
Oh, come on. You've seen the state we're in. If an opportunity to improve our situation presents itself, I can't just let that go. Besides, if I didn't think like that, I wouldn't have sweetened the deal for you so much. You get the shards, I get the goods. Win-win.
Alright. Yeah.
I have something here that belongs to you.
It doesn't surprise me the details of this venture leaked out. Orders were obeyed with little thought or enthusiasm. Let me explain to you what happened. The key player in this effort was the Alp commander you sent me. She's proven herself a force to be reckoned with, one I could no longer do without. But a solution to our manpower problems has presented itself. The Alps. In contrast to what passes for a recruit around here, they're disciplined, well-trained, and versatile. Consequently, we now keep a lookout for them on our borders and accept them into our ranks.
That doesn't explain the dead bodies.
I don't think you fully understand. The Alms are only here because they want to be. Maybe it's better if you heard from them directly. One of my acolytes is giving them the guided tour. You'll find them in either the canteen or the production hall. When you've had a chance to say hello, come back to me. I promise, all your questions will be resolved. After that, I have a proposal for you, but more on that later. Orderly, over here.
That was impressive.
The elves that Aizo cannot find have deserted and joined the clerics. As soon as I find out why, I need to talk to Hagen. He wants to make a deal with me. Okay.
You can pick up your chow, or whatever you call it, in the canteen. It's right over here. We'll get to where you'll be working in a minute. Any questions so far?
Who's responsible for the Elex supply?
Didn't anyone tell you? We use it exclusively for the machines. Human consumption is strictly prohibited. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Anything else?
No.
In that case, I'll take you to the production hall.
This cleric's camp has its advantages. Short communication paths, small population. The Hort was very different.
Jax, you? Here? So Azok wasn't wrong. Shit.
What are you doing here?
Have you seen Judicator Hagen? I don't want to make a mistake. Talk to him first, then we can talk.
Already done.
Let me explain the situation to you then. You must have figured out by now that we've defected. I don't expect you to condone what we did, our treachery, but I need to explain why we did it. Given your past, I even hope that you can maybe understand, at least in part.
All right. But don't leave out any details. Azok's waiting for my report.
The whole thing went like this. We were supposed to patrol the southern border. It should have been a straightforward mission, but it was doomed to failure from the outset.
What was the problem?
We were divided. Some of us questioned the order, questioned its efficiency. I mean, nothing we Alps do is a step forward. We create nothing. We leave devastation. We destroy habitats and pat ourselves on the back afterwards as if it's a victory. But the clerics have a vision in which all life has a place.
All life? I only counted a few bodies.
I was just about to get to that. I transmitted our route and coordinates to the castle in advance.
You were trying to provoke a confrontation?
No, I just wanted to pique their interest, and it worked. But when we got there, nothing went like we'd planned. I was convinced I could persuade everyone over to our side, that they'd see the truth of it.
That was a mistake, as it turned out.
Yeah, we ended up pointing our guns at each other. The clerics had overheard everything and were forced to intervene.
What? So you killed your own people?
What the hell were we supposed to do? If they'd taken us back to the depot, we would have been executed. It was us or them. We have the right to a future worth living in, don't we?
No. You put your future before anyone else's.
They didn't have any. But there's no point in discussing this further. I was naive to think you'd understand. Now leave us alone. I'm experiencing disappointment. It's a feeling I'm not used to.
Excellent.
Right. You are all here because you do not seem to understand the gravity of the situation. While this war rages on, our enemy is growing stronger and stronger. Those things outside do not give a single thin shit about anything. Not what's fair, or right, or good. So if you've got any notion about laying down arms, forget about it! Now, get in formation!
Pick up your chow, or whatever you call it in the canteen. It's right over here.
Jax, you? Here? So Azok wasn't wrong. Shit.
What are you doing?
Have you
All
It should have been a straight...
What was the problem?
We were... divided. I mean, nothing we destroy habitats and pat ourselves on the back afterwards as if it's a victory. But the clerics have a vision in which all life has a place.
All life? I only counted a few bodies.
I was just about to get to that. I transmitted our route and coordinates to the castle in advance.
You were trying to provoke a confrontation?
No, I just wanted to pique their interest, and it worked. But when we got there, nothing went like we'd planned. I was convinced I could persuade everyone over to our side, that they'd see the truth of it.
That was a mistake, as it turned out.
Yeah, we ended up pointing our guns at each other. The clerics had overheard everything and were forced to intervene.
What? So you killed your own people?
What the hell were we supposed to do? If they'd taken us back to the depot, we would have been executed. It was us or them. We have the right to a future worth living in, don't we?
I get you. Azok, on the other hand, will not.
We thought by disabling our trackers, he would consider us lost. Another mistake. Of course, I can't stop you from telling him the truth. That decision is entirely up to you. But talk to Hagen again first.
When did you realize you were going to defect?
I've had doubts about the Alb's goals for quite some time. With enough Elex, I could always silence them, but as the stuff got scarcer and scarcer, I had to admit the truth. I can't just blindly follow logic. Morality is increasingly important in my decisions.
Excellent.
Who's responsible for the Elex supply?
Didn't anyone tell you? We use it exclusively for the machines. Human consumption is strictly prohibited.
Gather up a few able-bodied men and empty out the old tunnel network in the north. Food, materials, whatever you find. Understood?
Yes, sir!
You can pile it all up in the merchant storehouse. Now go. I take it you've spoken to the Albs?
I have. Now what were you saying about a proposal?
Eager to get started, I see. That's exactly the kind of determination I need right now. We have a single troop of Albs, but it alone is not nearly enough to fill out our ranks. We need to increase our manpower, or we might as well give up trying to defend ourselves, because we're as good as dead. If the last deployment taught us one thing, it's that there's little benefit in sending out soldiers if they're likely to be killed. I need someone who knows how to handle themselves and others in combat situations. I need you.
Wait, I'm committed to the directive of the Albs.
That doesn't matter. Whatever team you're on, you only follow one person, and that's you. If I recall correctly, you were the one who asked how you could help. This is what I'm thinking. Albs will always replace a defunct troop with a new one. As one of their troops has defected to us, a replacement should be on its way. As we've seen, it only takes a few persuasive arguments for a group of Albs to reconsider their way of thinking. And if those arguments came from someone within their own ranks, the chances of success are high. Of course, for you this would be something of a risky endeavor, but your efforts would be rewarded. If you make sure that the second troop finds its way here, I will grant you the rank of Regent, on an honorary basis.
You want me to take all the risk?
Succeed, and no one will be any the wiser. Fail, and you'll likely have to give up on your ambitions to become one of their commanders.
Okay, when should I set out?
I've transferred the coordinates to your adjutor. Get there as soon as you can. If our calculations are correct, this is where their reinforcements will arrive. Track down the troop, convince them to change sides, and make sure they find their way here. Okay? Now get it done.
About the Albs. Have you really thought this through? If the depot learns what's going on, they'll turn the castle into rubble.
That won't happen, and you should know why. The Albs are obsessed with efficiency. Such a show of strength would be too wasteful for them.
You're sure about that?
A handful of deserters does not warrant a retaliatory strike. Their directive would treat the defectors as nothing more than waste material, a sunk cost not worth trying to recover. An attack would use up valuable manpower, not to mention resources, while they're trying to deal with a new threat. So, you can rest easy.
That was remarkable.
Right. You are all here because you do not seem to understand the gravity of the situation. While this war rages on, our enemy is growing stronger and stronger. Those things outside do not give a single thin shit about anything. Not what's fair, or right, or good. So if you've got any notion about laying down arms, forget about it! Now, get in formation!
This cleric's camp has its advantages. Short communication paths, small population. The Horde was very different.
Before we... Hey! You! You're interrupting my training! Get in formation!
What can I learn from you?
How about how not to interrupt? And then maybe how to handle a weapon? Look, I'm sure your intentions are good, but right now, I'm busy whipping these morons into shape. It's a miracle that most of these numbskulls even showed up today. There's twice as many who didn't even bother.
Why would that be?
You're asking for reasons? These idiots don't have reasons. They're like cattle. Lazy cattle. It is my duty to make sure that everyone who leaves this yard knows how to do their job. In order to achieve that, I need a little discipline. Unless I beat some sense of the real world into their thick skulls, they'll be off with the others preaching blue skies and sunshine. No amount of belief in the Creator will save you if you're faced with the barrel of a gun or some deadly creature's jaws.
In that case, it would indeed be wise to strengthen defensive measures.
True, but clever remarks have nothing to do with it. Guys like your friend there make terrible soldiers, always tripping over their own feet. If you're not one of these runts, come back tomorrow and I may have a use for you. Before we get started on the drill, hear this. It has not escaped my notice that some of you have been slacking when it comes to maintaining your weapons. That is unacceptable. I will not tolerate rust. I will not tolerate carelessness. We do not have replacements. Now, get to it! I want to see continuous movements. No gaps in the sequence. Routine is everything. In a combat situation, you will not have time to think. Slack off for 1 second and the enemy will punish you. You there, maggot. Is that how your grandpa fights? Put some fucking effort into it! Never let your guard down. Situational awareness. Keep your comrades safe by keeping the end with the hole in it pointed towards the enemy. What's going on in the back? Are you breaking formation?
No, sir.
Who gave you permission to open your mouth? I think you need some extra training. A lap around the yard. Move it! Cry yourselves to sleep later if you like, but while you're standing here in front of me, you will maintain formation. Soft little mama's boys are of no use to me. Loudmouth braggarts are no use to me. I need you to find your limits, because, make no mistake, you will need to push them in combat.
Okay, this game is getting intense now.
I'm right behind you! to fight! Watch out! I'm coming!
Aim and shoot. Don't bother with questions. These people don't know anything of interest. Any comments? If not, check your gear and prepare for departure.
You're making this too easy on yourself.
Excuse me?
Cooperation is more effective.
I must remember this place.
You're welcome.
So much space. Enough.
One moment. My instruction will be finished soon.
There's something I wanted to say.
Don't forget who's in charge here. I don't tolerate disloyalty.
Stupid ideas like this only end up making new enemies where there shouldn't be any.
I work with tactics that are actually worth something. This area has been cleansed.
We're both scouts. We should leave the decision to a trooper.
Did you hear what that was about? If you did, I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Give me an outline of the situation.
I am in command of this unit. I've decided to eliminate any obstacle that crosses our path. I won't repeat the mistake of our predecessors. Confrontations will be nipped in the bud. Any objection to my decision is irrelevant. The directive clearly states that efficiency must define our actions. So, should we eliminate the people or not?
Murdering innocent people has nothing to do with efficiency.
Our mission is to protect the border, not to determine who is and isn't guilty. The depot will be very interested in your interpretation of our regulations. But before we head back there, tell me something. What brought you to us?
You've got a new order. From now on, you're to cooperate with the clerics.
Who issued this?
What does it matter? An order's an order.
This is high treason. You are hereby under arrest.
The clerics aren't our enemy. Get a grip.
Me? It's your behavior that defies all logic. But that suits me just fine. Executing one renegade trooper right here will only bring me closer to promotion. Come on, draw your weapon. It's time we made an example of you.
What?
Where was I?
Don't forget who's in charge here. I don't tolerate disloyalty.
Stupid ideas like this only end up making new enemies where there shouldn't be any.
I work with tactics that are actually worth something. This area has been cleansed.
We're both scouts. We should leave the decision to a trooper.
As you wish, even if the result was... Did you hear what that was about? If you did, I'm sure you'll agree with me.
I'm here for another reason.
We'll get to that. First, tell me who you agree with.
Give me an outline of...
I won't... Any
Get a move on. Off to the castle with you.
Not only are you a traitor, you're also incredibly naive. But that suits me just fine. Executing one renegade trooper right here will only bring me closer to promotion. Come on, draw your weapon. It's time we made an example of you.
Attack now!
Her offensive technique is interesting.
Why aren't you attacking her?
Your punches are wearing her down.
Out of ammo.
Finish it!
You're Jax, are you not?
That's me. Sorry about the mess.
No problem. I couldn't stand sheer anyway. I understand we're needed in the castle, correct?
That's right. You have a problem with that?
No. If you tell us to go there, we'll follow the order. Just do us a favor and let the clerics know we're coming. If we march up to the castle with our full complement of troops, we're likely to spark some sort of incident.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
Excellent. Trooper, a word, please.
There's something I wanted to say.
You heard Jax. We're heading to the clerics. Give your kid a once-over and prepare to march. Weapons are to be deployed only in the event of a confrontation. Form ranks and move out.
So much space. Enough for all living organisms.
Theoretically, yes. Practically, no.
Then perhaps we should put the theory into practice.
I don't think the two of us can manage that alone.
That was impressive.